Hello and welcome back to the Nasty Metal Bridge channel here at YouTube, and welcome to another EP review. Now, for this review, it's of course is for another Doomsday's Today Records release, and it's of course is for one of Paul Sanchez's one of his side projects, or at least as a side project between him, again Paul Sanchez of Nihilistic Outlaw Criminal Order, Dave Coppola of Inversia, and Greg Watkins of course, Static Masses and Zotkorgven. And if that's, of course, is their only release at this point, it's, of course, Ov Blood and Mockery, and it's titled Heaven, Eternal Damnation. Now, it's a good thing I was able to at least remember most of the information because of, right now, of this recording, I can't seem to load up Bandcamp. It's having, at least on my end, it's having some problems, so I can't be able to freshly look at the information in front of me. Again, that will be on my computer screen. But it's a good thing that I at least remembered most of the information that I at least needed for this review. Now, again, this is the only physical release of this EP. This was recorded sometime last year. Apparently, it was originally a 3-track EP, and it was again released during the summer of last year. But they, of course, it took at least until of this year, will be February 1st, for this to actually be physically released. But it's been switched up to being a 4-track EP, and that's, of course, is an inclusion of a crowbar cover. And that'll be track number 2 here. It's called To Touch the Hand of God. And, of course, it's stated right here that it's a crowbar cover. And, of course, I should definitely show off the cassette here. It's a very nice, very unique gold plated or gold foiled cassette tape. So, again, it's their only release right now. I think it's one of the things I remembered. They are definitely looking forward to, I guess, be more signed to a different label, even though I think it would be more, just as more fitting to be on Paul Sanchez's own label here, be Doomsday's Today Records. So, since I got a lot of the release stuff and all those kind of quirks, all of that out of the way, let's definitely get into the music. And what does Ov Blood and Mockery play? And what's, I guess, anything different between this and Nihilistic Outlaw Criminal Order? Well, there is definitely plenty of differences between what's being played here than what you would get with your typical Nihilistic Outlaw Criminal Order, especially with the reunion era Nihilistic Outlaw Criminal Order albums. This is definitely, you really can get a lot of, again, plenty of Greg Watkins influence is definitely really shown within in this as well. It's definitely, I mean, there is those similarities, but the difference is that this is definitely more, I guess, very much experimental, atmospheric black metal with some industrial touches to it, but it's definitely more very much atmosphere, a very form of experimental atmospheric black metal. That's what you definitely get with this one, and there's a lot of black metal influence touches on here, especially within the vocal department. You definitely get a lot of that, and definitely that does come from, of course, I would say definitely comes from Dave Coppola's, his, right? Yeah, actually, no. Take that back. Greg Watkins actually does plenty of the vocals here. But you definitely do get, again, Dave Coppola does add some guitar stuff onto this, and so on. You definitely get plenty of their. It definitely does sound a really between the three. It's definitely a very much a collaboration. Again, it's only 4 tracks here, and it clocks in a little over 21 minutes. And again, the style again of atmospheric experimental black metal is very interesting. It's very different. I mean, Paul Sanchez definitely provides drums for this release, and it's more. It had the pacing of it has more like a marching feel to some of it. It's very. It just has that kind of feel going on through some of it. It's very like marching in terms of the beats and all of that and the pacing that you definitely get with this. And as far as the guitars and everything, it's again very much it's something typical again of atmospheric style black metal. It's definitely very typical of that, but it's done but it's arranged in a way that that is very interesting, and it's definitely something that is definitely different compared to a lot of more modern black metal bands, and again also the raw production. But the thing that it's in that is unique to this is due to, of course, Greg Watkins' his contributions. Again, a lot of the sounds and the stuff that he adds to a lot of it, it just adds to it. It's what also really gives this that atmosphere to it. It really elevates a lot of its style and really takes it the whole style to just a step further, and doesn't really it doesn't really doesn't do a whole lot of stuff they expect that would be typically of that. He definitely adds a lot of that elevates a lot of the music here. Again, it's what he has done with, of course, with plenty of Nihilistic Outlaw Criminal Order, and what he has done with there. It's no different here, and it's really one of the most interesting, unique things that I've heard so far within the black metal genre. Especially when it comes to at least the more atmospheric. It's just so different. It's so out there. It's compared to a lot of bands these days, a lot of black metal bands these days that tend to try and take things into more different directions, I think fall flat. And I think in many ways it's more safe. This actually is the most. It's not really that safe zone style thing. You actually get something out of it. It's actually it's unique and it's different, but it doesn't stay within your typical safe zone. It actually branches out further, and it actually takes you on quite a bit of journey. I mean, you can definitely get a good atmosphere as well if you were to listen to this at night, especially if you listen to this even in just a enclosed dark room, no shade or anything, no windows, no nothing. It's a plain, again, empty black room, and you probably can get a really interesting atmosphere of it, or just picture yourself being in a fucking black room, and so on, and listen to this, and you will get, and the atmosphere, I bet, would definitely be heightened up even further. It's just that has that feel, and that it just has a lot of that to it, and it's really interesting and unique, and definitely something that it's just, again, it's one of the things that I definitely seem to really praise Greg Watkins for, and it's one of the things I praise him for. So it's definitely, so again, 4 tracks here, and it's definitely a solid debut EP, and I definitely wouldn't mind hearing more from this, and I hope that they do perform more, and I hope they do perform more as well Nihilistic Outlaw Criminal Order and so on. Again, it's definitely one of the most unique and very creative minds here right now so far, I would, in metal and so on, and or just music in general in terms of the underground stuff. It's really, really cool. So with that, if you're very, I'm not gonna get before I go any further, I'm not gonna give it any rating or anything. I'm just going to let everybody at least decide what they think, if this is something that would be for them. And so if you have a open mind and you dig stuff like this, again, I'm gonna link you to the Bandcamp page, especially to this release. As far as I remember, since I still can't get Bandcamp to load up, I will, again, it should very well still be available. And again, there will be samples again. That's one cool thing about Bandcamp. You get samples. You get to hear what you get to hear the music. You get to hear the stuff. And again, I would say, and as far as the purchase value and the price for this cassette, it should be no more than just $5 as far as I remember. And again, if you like it, go out and buy it. Buy it. Click on the buy button and purchase. I think it, again, definitely support stuff like this. This is definitely something I definitely have to say I recommend supporting. If you like what you hear, support it. It's definitely great. It's very interesting. It's very cool. It's something that definitely really has it more so, even more opens up my mind, even though I've had an open mind going to a lot of this, but it definitely, stuff like this keeps you having such a great open mind, because there's so far interesting stuff out there than just the stuff that you're normally are definitely used to. So with that, again, if there's something that this might be something that you're into, definitely go on and check this out. So with that, I hope all enjoyed this Heavy Thrash Head Sam out. I'll see y'all later. Take care, everyone.